You've clicked this video because you obviously think you're missing more shots than you're supposed to miss when you're playing pool. And let's be honest, I think no matter how long you're playing, if you're just starting out playing pool, if you're playing for a couple of years or even 20 years, I think everyone has the feeling that you should be able to make shots more consistently and just miss less shots. And I have one really huge tip that I can give any player, and that I see many players, no matter if they're playing just for a year or a month, or sometimes even for 10, 20 years, they're still doing this one thing wrong, and this makes them miss sometimes easy shots, very often difficult shots, or especially shots when you're under pressure. And I'm doing this video because I have this one friend who's actually a really good shot maker. He has a really good fundamentals. He knows the game very well, but he's missing so many more shots than he could have made actually. And the problem is he's still working on his fundamentals, on his technique, when instead he should do something completely different. And this is what I'm gonna show you. So let's create a situation, a very common situation from the match I recently played with him, which is, I would say, something like that. And we were playing 8-ball. So I'm gonna show you how he approached this shot, how he played the shot, and then I'm gonna show you how I would do this whole thing, and you will just see and compare, and you might gonna spot the difference. So this is how he would have played that shot. And looks good, right? We made a good shot, perfect position on the 8-ball. Now, let's just see how I would play this shot. So, roughly the same situation. It's not important that it's 100% identical, but this is basically how I would play this shot. And once again, good position on the 8. So both shots were fine, right? Both times we made the shot, we had a good position on the 8. But there is one really big thing that he is doing completely wrong, and that you see not a single professional, if you look at the top 50 for example, is doing it his way, but just the way I'm doing it. So did you see the difference? Well, if not, I'm gonna show you. So first of all, what we both do is we're gonna look on difficult shots. You don't have to do that all the time, but we're gonna look at the actual line that the object ball should travel, which is here. This means we have to make roughly contact around here with the ball. Now what he's doing is he's focusing with his eyes. Yes, you can't see my eyes, but he's focusing this point with his eyes. Then he goes over and tries to shoot the cue ball to that point, and he misses. Well, what is the problem? Well, how I would do this whole thing is I would also go behind the line of the ball, look at the point or the line the object ball has to travel, but then I'm not just going down from the side. You can see the difference from going from here already down in the shot. No, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the shot, I'm going behind the cue ball line, because the cue ball has to travel a certain line to hit the right point on the object ball. And this is what I'm doing here. I'm basically aiming while I'm standing. I'm not just going from the side into the shot. No, I'm trying to step behind the cue ball, get a nice visual of where the cue ball should travel to hit the right point. And only when I'm ready, then I'm going down on the shot. So I'm aligning myself, even my feet here. I hope you can see that in the camera, but even just tiny differences in my position of my dominant left foot here will make a difference, because I'm trying to align my whole body with that line, that my whole body is in a position where I can strike naturally straight, so that my stroke is not supposed to, when I'm going down and I'm completely wrong, that I'm not changing my whole body alignment when I'm down. This is the first thing you want to avoid, because you're not going perfectly down where you don't have to change anything. When you're going from the side, most of the time, you have to really change a lot with your position. You can avoid that by aligning yourself properly, then going down And then you just, if you wanna, you have micro adjustments that you have to do and not those big ones. But you can also just see the line better. You can visualize the line. You can align your whole body with that. And the problem is that most players get away with it if they're not doing it. So, for example, if you're having like easy shots on the table, let's say like this, very often you just get away with doing it wrong because the shot is just so easy and you still are gonna make many shots. But you're here because you're missing more shots than you're supposed to, and this is exactly what prevents you from making more shots, because you're not consistent, because you're just rushing the shots. Even though it looks easy, there is absolutely no pre-shot routine. And yes, I can make these kind of shots without doing all of this, but eventually you're going to miss, or you're going to make a mistake if you're not doing it properly. And as I just told you, not a single professional player is doing it that way. They're always taking that brief moment, that short time. Doesn't have to take forever, by the way. But they're just, instead of doing it like this, they're using the short moment where they align themselves, and then they're going down, and then everything becomes way more controllable and you squeeze out every single percentage. This is what it's all about. So I hope this video was helpful.